Hello, and welcome to the English Listening Lab. My name is Johan. I am very happy that you are here with me today. Today we are going to talk about a very important topic. We are going to talk about my struggle to learn English. I know that learning English is hard. It is hard for you, and it was hard for me too. Before we start this story, I have a very important request for you. Please subscribe to this channel right now. If you subscribe, you will see all our new videos. You will not miss any episodes about my struggle to learn English. We want to help you learn every single day. So please click the subscribe button now. Now, let us begin my story about the hard times I had when I started to learn this language. When I first started to learn English, I was very confused. Everything was new to me. The words looked very strange on the paper. I looked at my book and I felt a headache. I did not know where to start. In my own language, the words are very different. In English, the words are short, but they are hard to say. I remember sitting at my desk in my room. I had a dictionary and a notebook. I tried to write sentences, but I made many mistakes. I felt very stupid. I thought that I would never learn this language. It felt like a very high mountain that I could not climb. I was afraid to open my mouth. I was afraid to read the words. This was the beginning of my long and difficult journey with English. The biggest problem for me was the grammar. English grammar is very crazy. There are so many rules to remember. I tried to memorize the rules, but I always forgot them. The past tense was very hard. Why do we say walked, but then we say ran? Why is it not runned? This made me very angry. I wanted the rules to be simple. I wanted the rules to be the same for every word. But English is not like that. English has many exceptions. Every time I learned a new rule, I found a word that broke the rule. I spent hours looking at grammar tables. I wrote the verbs again and again. I felt like I was fighting with the language. The grammar was a big wall that stopped me from speaking. Pronunciation was another big struggle for me. My mouth did not want to make the English sounds. There are sounds in English that do not exist in my language. The sound TH was the worst. I had to put my tongue between my teeth. It felt very unnatural. I felt silly when I did it. I practiced in front of the mirror. I looked at my face and tried to say the and think and that. But it sounded wrong. It sounded like a Z or a D. I was worried that people would laugh at me. When I tried to speak fast, my tongue would get tied up. I could not say the words clearly. My jaw hurt after practicing for only 10 minutes. Pronunciation was a physical struggle for my face and my mouth. Listening to English was also a nightmare. When I listened to my teacher, I could understand a little bit. My teacher spoke very slowly. She used simple words. But when I listened to real people, I understood nothing. Real people speak very fast. They connect the words together. It sounds like one long noise. I tried to watch movies in English. I turned on the TV and listened. I felt panic. I did not know where one word ended and the next word started. It was just noise to me. I felt very lonely. because everyone said watching movies helps. But for me, watching movies was just frustrating. I sat there and looked at the pictures, but the sounds were a mystery. I felt deaf, even though my ears worked fine. I remember one day in class very clearly. It was a very bad day. The teacher asked me a question. It was a simple question. She asked me what I did on the weekend. I knew the answer in my head. I wanted to say that I went to the park with my friends. But when I opened my mouth, nothing came out. My face became red. My hands started to shake. The other students looked at me. The room was very quiet. I tried to speak, but I used the wrong verb. I said, I go to park. I forgot the past tense. I felt so embarrassed. I wanted to hide under the table. That day, I went home and I cried. I thought that I was the worst student in the whole class. Fear was my constant companion. I was afraid to make mistakes. I thought that if I made a mistake, people would think I was not smart. This fear made me silent. I stopped raising my hand in class. I stopped trying to talk to people. I only wrote in my notebook. Writing was safe because I could erase my mistakes. But speaking was dangerous. Once the words are out, you cannot take them back. This fear stopped my progress. You cannot learn a language if you do not speak it. I knew this, but the fear was too strong. I was trapped inside my own head. I had many thoughts in English, but I could not let them out. It was a very sad time for me. Vocabulary was another big challenge. There are so many words in English, and one word can have many meanings. Take the word get, for example. You can get up, get down, get tired, get a car. It was too much information. I made lists of words. I wrote the English word and the word in my language. I carried these lists everywhere. I looked at them on the bus. I looked at them before I went to sleep. But the next day, I would forget half of the words. It felt like my brain was full. There was no more space for new words. I felt overwhelmed by the sheer number of words I needed to learn just to have a simple conversation. Reading was difficult because of the spelling. In my language, you read the word exactly as it is written, but English is not like that. You see the word knife, but you do not say the K. You see the word night, but you do not say the G or the H. Why are the letters there if we do not say them? This made reading very slow. I had to stop at every word. I had to think about how to say it. I could not read a whole sentence smoothly. I sounded like a robot. I read one word, then I stopped. Then I read the next word. It was exhausting. I could not enjoy the story because I was working so hard just to read the words. I also struggled with prepositions. The little words like in, on, and at were very confusing. Why are we in a car, but on a bus? Why are we at school, but in the classroom? There seemed to be no logic. I made many mistakes with these small words. I would say, I am in the bus, and people would correct me. It felt like a small mistake, but it happened all the time. These small words are very important in English. If you use the wrong one, the meaning changes. I spent a lot of time doing exercises about prepositions. I filled in the blanks in my workbook, but when I spoke, I still used the wrong ones. It was very frustrating. There were times when I wanted to give up. I thought about quitting my English classes. I thought that maybe I just did not have a talent for languages. I saw other people learning faster than me. They seemed to speak easily. They laughed and joked in English. I felt jealous of them. I asked myself why it was so hard for me. I was tired of studying. I was tired of feeling confused. I was tired of the struggle. I took a break for 1 week. I did not open my book. I did not listen to English. I needed to rest my brain. I needed to think about why I wanted to learn this language. But then I remembered my goal. I wanted to travel. I wanted to get a better job. I wanted to make friends from other countries. I knew that English was the key to these things. If I quit, I would stay in the same place. I would not grow. So I decided to try again. But this time, I changed my method. I stopped worrying about grammar rules. I stopped trying to be perfect. I decided to focus on communication. If people understood me, that was enough. I did not need to speak perfect English. I just needed to speak. This change in my mind helped me a lot. It took the pressure off. I started to relax a little bit more. I started to listen to podcasts like this one. I listened to simple English. I listened to stories. I did not try to understand every word. I just tried to understand the main idea. This was much better than watching difficult movies. I could follow the story. I felt happy when I understood a sentence. These small victories gave me hope. I started to repeat what I heard. I talked to myself in my room. I narrated my life. I said, I am cooking dinner, or I am washing the dishes. It was simple, but it was practice. I was speaking English every day, even if nobody heard me. This built my confidence slowly. I also found a language partner. He was also learning English. We were both at the same level. We met for coffee and we tried to speak English. We made many mistakes, but we laughed about them. We did not judge each other. We helped each other. It was a safe place to practice. We talked about simple things. We talked about the weather. We talked about food. We talked about our families. It was not perfect English, but it was communication. I realized that speaking is a skill like playing football. You have to play to get better. You cannot learn just by reading a book about football. Slowly, things started to change. The struggle became less hard. I started to understand more. The words did not look so strange anymore. The sounds became familiar. I stopped translating everything in my head. I started to think in English a little bit. It was a magical feeling. I remember the first time I understood a joke in English. I laughed immediately. I did not have to ask for an explanation. I felt so proud of myself. The mountain did not look so high anymore. I was climbing it. I was not at the top, but I was higher than before. Thank you for listening to my story about my struggle to learn English. It was a long journey, and I am still learning today. I hope my story helps you. I hope you know that it is okay to struggle. It is okay to make mistakes. Do not give up. You can do this. Please remember to subscribe to the English Listening Lab channel. We have many more episodes to help you. Follow us on all our social media platforms to get daily tips. We are here to support you in your struggle. Keep listening, keep practicing, and I will see you in the next episode.